Our industrial development park over on 177, we have several candidates that we're trying to influence to come on that property. We had a couple that were definite that were going to move here that would have created several hundred jobs. And the Oklahoma legislature passed an added value, or not an added value, they passed a tax that said that the point of, not the point of sale, but the point of use was the point where the sales tax was imposed. And that killed a couple of deals that we had because they were companies that were going to sell products that were going to be used for assembly home sites. And so we're still trying to work out, trying to bring industry in that where the added value of being on Indian trust land and not having ad valorem taxes and not having a number of franchise taxes and no state or no corporate income tax, that those advantages will best be realized. The projects that the tribe has besides the economic, our industrial park, we've committed to put some $10 million into Rural Water District number 3 in its newly accessed areas, and in the old areas we are petitioning to extend some of our services to over into the counties that are adjacent to us. There are communities that need water, and the difficulty of doing startup water districts, and water districts should all be working together, and they should be basically interlocked. I think that common water sources and if all the rural water districts were connected to each other, it would be a much safer environment from a supply standpoint for the public. We're planning on expanding that water district. That is a very long-term investment, by the way. You don't make any money in the first 10 years you're in the water business. But the Potawatomi tribe tends to look at investments in 20 to 50-year increments. We certainly, our two major investments were 20-year investments. Besides the water district, we have a very strong interest in this rail that has been out of service since the 80s. That flood that took the Rock Island system that used to connect us to Holdenville and Seminole and Wewoka and clear to McAllister, that line is vital to the health of our area. And that's another reason why, when you look in all four directions from Oklahoma City, why the development has been restricted going east is because of access to rail. We're not really interested in going out and spending the $15 million or better dollars that it's going to take to get that rail up and operating. I mean, we have other things we could invest our money in that would give us a quicker and probably higher return. But no one else seems to be interested in coming up with the money. Everyone has a lot of ideas, but someone has to end up making the commitment, putting the money up, and doing something. We have talked it to death. If we're not careful, we're going to allow Big Rail to define terms for the rail that goes back in service that will make that rail almost impossible to bring back into service. I think it's in the best interest of Shawnee for that rail to be best interest of Shawnee, Oklahoma, of the Potawatomi tribe, of Tecumseh, of Bethel Acres, of Seminole, Wewoka, Holdenville, and all those towns, Stewart, all those towns down through there until you get to McAllister. It is in our best interest. You know, that's our connectivity with the Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Otherwise, the only way we get to the BN Santa Fe is over in Oklahoma City. That rail is vital to us. I would love to see that rail, even if it had to be operated as a transportation nonprofit, be put back in service. I'd love to see, if we can't get a railroad operator to go in and do that, I'd love to see the ownership be of all these communities, including the Indian tribes. You know, it crosses 3 Indian tribes. And the tribes, I think, would have an economic interest in the Seminole tribe and Potawatomi tribe and the Choctaw Nation and a little piece there where they cross the Creek Nation. They have an interest in seeing that rail back in service. We're going to, this year, we're going to build a new bowling center and youth activities center south of town there on the other side of the grocery store. We started pouring concrete last week, and we started moving dirt. We put the first of the concrete in last week. That construction will move very quickly. We're adding 150 new luxury RV spaces, pull-through RV spaces for our RV park. That project has already begun, and we've started moving dirt and putting in lines for that within the last 30 days. We have a new bank building that's being built directly east of Fire Lake Discount Foods, just north of the tribal headquarters. There's a new branch bank for First National Bank that will be built in 2009, under construction. We have a clinic that we're building out by at the Dale exit on I-40 on the west side of Fire Lake Grand Casino that will provide clinic services to our population in McLeod and Choctaw area. That will be built in 2009. We have, in addition to the wellness center, which will be a gymnasium and large-scale storm shelter for our elder residents of our elder housing there, the southern part of our complex. That will be built in 2009. So we probably have 12 to 15 million in construction. That'll be done 2009, completed 2010. The Potawatomi tribe, in its license tag, I know people see quite a few here in town. We send a check directly from the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Tax Commission to the Shawnee school system. Tag money goes to Oklahoma City, and then it gets massaged around. Oklahoma Tag does, and then some of it comes back. But virtually, the money that for a Potawatomi tag, equivalent to whatever percentage that would be of that tag fee, we just send a check directly to the school district. Interestingly, we're sending checks directly to school districts all over the state where there are substantial Potawatomi populations. And I know Maryland Bradford's gotten some pretty good sized checks, and Tecumseh gets some pretty good sized checks. But we're making sure those monies go directly back to the school districts. And the issue of tags is not a big revenue issue, but it is a governmental issue that recognizes the combined governmental jurisdictions of the area and the dual citizenship of citizen Potawatomi Nation citizens. We are citizens of the United States, citizens of Oklahoma, citizens of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, and citizens of Shawnee. And those rights and privileges and responsibilities of citizenship, we see some of that manifested in those tags. That, and there's some pride in people having a tag, and it saves them a little bit of money. Not a lot, but a little bit of money. And it has done a lot so Potawatomis know each other.